Holy crap, I shouldn't have put that through my headset. That was fucking loud as hell. Let's turn system sounds down. Oh, I've got a headache. Hello. Actually, it should be hello, Blair and Ultra. I was just trying to do filler until we got more people in here. I know I'm kind of having this earlier. So, do. All right, click off that. So, how is everyone's weekend going thus far? I should have refilled my cup before I sat down. All right, I've got it beside me. Okay. I kind of forget that this thing's on a little bit of a delay, so I get caught up in like the silence. But I'll put music on that I can hear and entertain myself. Where the fuck is my music at? Ah, there it is. What is this? Play. All right. Ugh. I do want to say though that this will be, let me double check, my last hangout until January 6th. Because with the holidays and everything going on, I'm going to be quite busy the next couple of weekends. And then at the first of the year, I have some things that I have to get in order. And then I should be free on the 6th. So, when you guys actually want to get into the discussion of what I have been posting for the past week, I know yesterday I was supposed to post a tweet with everything, but I kind of lapsed on it because I felt like utter crap. Blah, blah, blah. I have not seen Cult yet, Ultra. I honestly have not. I barely got into Roanoke. So, and there's Baby Vader. I'm sorry, Ultra. I've been doing like I got caught up with Riverdale. Um Code and I binge watched Lucifer. Then I binge watched shit, what the fuck was it? It was something else. I can't remember what it was. And then I got caught up on a bunch of animes. And then I got caught up on some newer horror movies that I hadn't seen. Um so I actually don't sit and watch TV because I'm always up moving around doing other stuff. But when I do sit down and watch something, I binge it. So there was this one fucking show that we were watching together, and it like ended very weirdly, and I can't remember what it was. No, I really can't remember it. But Code did buy me Ash versus the Evil Dead season 1 and 2 for my birthday. So we binge watched that, and I'm a little disappointed in it. Crap. One. Holy shit. I don't know where the other two are at. But I've been trying to get like Elder Scrolls Online to download, but my download speed fucking blows. And yeah. So last night I was playing GTA 5. I was maxing out my stats, and then my ex-husband got online. I was wanting me to help him, so I helped him out for a little bit and just fell asleep afterwards. Well, Blair, Ash versus the Evil Dead is a spinoff from Army of Darkness, which was a spinoff of the Evil Dead series. Because if you've seen Evil Dead and haven't seen Army of Darkness, then I honestly recommend that you watch Army of Darkness because it's one of my favorite movies. So yeah, the series is a spin-off of both of those. But the end of season 2 kind of disappointed me, so finished both seasons of Stranger Things. Season 1 I liked. Season 2 was in my opinion was kind of drab because it kind of touched more on emotional things versus actually what was really going on with like the upside down and stuff. There was something we were watching and I can't remember what it was anymore. Because we were watching No Game No Life, and then that ended, and then we got into Log Horizon, which I actually got bored. I think it's the end of season 1. They go back to the cabin. Is it season 1 or is it season 2? Like one of the seasons, they go back to the cabin, and the way the cabin's like fucking with them reminded me of the original movie. But it's more of like a comedy gore fest. But that's what Ash Williams is anyways. So his horn dog, like there's a it's in season 2, and there's a skit where he's in the morgue looking for the Necronomicon, and it's in a body, and he goes to retrieve it, and somehow the book has possessed the body, and the entrails come out to get him and basically force him up the anus of a dead guy. That was hilarious. Hi, Barbie. Like one show I can't get into is The Walking Dead. It bores the shit out of me. I've tried numerous times and I just can't get into it. One of my favorite like gory movies is Tales from the Crypt Demon Knights with Billy Zane. I love that movie. The Walking Dead is basically who's fucking who gets bit, yay. I mean, if I want to watch something that's zombie related, I think they should do like a Resident Evil series, because Resident Evil touches on so much more than just, oh, there's a virus. But then again, like Americanized TV taking a game and making it into like a TV show would probably ruin it. And then I'd have to go kill myself or some shit. That's like, I used to be really big into watching ghost hunter shows like Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters, shit like that. I stopped watching Ghost Hunters because it was boring me. And Zach Baggins, he annoys the shit out of me on Ghost Adventures because he like talks over everybody else. So I don't watch that anymore. Paranormal horror is usually my preferred genre of horror movies. Like the movie Possessed, Blair, that I told you about, that you watched. Holy shit. I was not expecting that ending at all. And, try to remember the name of it. I think it's called Ghost Adventures, where it's like a parody of, they're like ghost hunters going into this insane asylum or hospital, and they get locked in, and they're, like, well, fuck this shit, that nothing's happening, but they get pulled like in an alternate reality or some shit, stuck with them, and they're getting picked off one by one. There's a second one to it that I've never seen, and I really want to see it. Yes, I have seen Black Christmas from 1974, and I actually own the one from Mean Girls. I watch it every year on Christmas. That and Scrooged. And Die Hard, of course. Those are like rituals for me. Yep, on Christmas Eve, Code and I are going to watch Die Hard. We are going to watch Black Christmas. And we're also going to watch Scrooged because I love any Bill Murray movie. Um, Blair, have you seen Dale and Tucker versus Evil? I have got something on my glasses and I can't see. Where's the end of my... There it is. Probably got leftover icing on my freaking glasses. Yes, I actually watched Dylan Tucker versus Evil one night while Code was at work. Laughed my ass off, and I had to tell him to watch it with me, and he liked it. No, I've not seen Yoga Hosers. I've heard that it's really good, and I should watch it. But I don't know if it's on Netflix, if it or if it's on Hulu. I have Hulu on my Xbox One. I just haven't logged into my Netflix app because it's under my mother-in-law's name. And getting her to remember shit is like pulling teeth. What is going on with my computer? All right. So, before we get too much off topic, uh I guess we can talk about the first subject that I put up, which was the boy in the box. I have all the Wikipedia pages pulled up because I'm an idiot and can't remember shit. I remember some details. All right, let me give basically the summary. The boy in the box is the name given to an unidentified murder victim, 3 to 7 years old, whose naked, battered body was found in a cardboard box in the Fox Chase section of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, on February 25th, 1957. He is also commonly called America's unknown child. His identity has never been discovered, and the case remains open. Now, I linked BuzzFeed Blue Shane and what's his face uh video to this case because they kind of go in depth with it and think of possible what am I trying to say? Sorry, I have like a headache, so it's a little hard to focus. Possible scenarios that could possibly lead to a closing in the case. I just find it very interesting because this happened in 1957 and it still remains unsolved to this day. They say the cause of death was blunt force trauma. Jeez. I was just looking at the weight and it said that the body only weighed 30 pounds. That's kind of low. It's always the aliens. Um, there was one that they pointed out that the mother possibly sold the child to somebody. I can't quite remember, but they never did like DNA testing to confirm that it was her child. And I think that's probably the most possible thing, because I've read somewhere, I can't remember where, but during that time, if women came on hard times, rather than giving our children up to an orphanage, they would often sell their children. Ooh, it's just one of those cases that interests me, because it's like, how do you not know where this child came from? Because if the age range is 3 to 9, any child, well, then again, back then it wasn't really mandatory to send your children to school, but uh yeah, MB did it. That's it. um but yeah, I think it's probably that it was the woman who stepped forward trying to say that it was her child. But since they never did the DNA testing, and I don't know if her DNA is on file, because even if it's not, you would think that if they were still looking into the case, all they have to do is, get permission to exhume the grave of her and the unknown child and compare DNA. And then we would have an answer, but, funds and all that. So, all right. I had that up way too loud. Um, what was our next subject matter in hand? Let's close out Boy in the Box. All right, I think my next subject matter that I posted up was Andre Chikatilo. Andre Roman. Holy shit! I cannot speak English to save my life today. Andre Romanovich Chikatilo, a Ukrainian. It's the same thing, except there's just the spelling's different. Was a Soviet serial killer named the Butcher of Rostov, the Red Ripper, and the Rostov Ripper, who committed sexual assault, murder, and mutilation of at least 52 women and children between 1978 and 1990 in the Russian SFSR and the Ukrainian SSR and the Uzbek SSR. God damn, can't you just say it's just the SSR? Chikatilo confessed to the total of 56 murders and was tried to 53 of them, and tried for 53 of these killings in April of 1992. He was convicted and sentenced to death for 52 of these murders in October of 1992, and blah blah. I can't read either. Did in February 1994. Chikatilo was known by such titles as, well, everything that I listed above, because the majority of his murders were committed in the Rostov Oblast of the Russian SFSR. God damn, Russia. Eat the stick. All right. Well, enjoy the fact, Barbie, that I cannot speak today. Anyways, on Chikatilo, what was your thoughts on that? Like, they talked about his childhood where his mother kind of drilled into his brain that his older brother was cannibalized because of the famine going on. So not to go out and play after dark, or, you'd be eaten, some Hannibal Lecter style shit. And then what was it? Down, but had intimacy issues, but they were still able to conceive children. I bet they turkey basted that shit. Um, and then he worked as a school teacher, which his class ridiculed him. And then they say, due to the ridicule and all this other shit, that he started lashing out people and molesting them and doing all these weird shit with their bodies. Like, what was it? Taking out the eyes. Ugh. And that was the only way he could achieve some sort of sexual gratification, if I'm recalling correctly. That is a lot that I'd have to read real quick. Sexual sadism. Murder, convicted, tried, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, I think so too, Blair. But you remember, like, last time we spoke in my last hangout, we talked about how there can be people who can go through this almost identical things and still don't have these problems. It kind of bothers me with this person in particular is that they were very intelligent to begin with. They served, they worked in communications, then went on to be a school teacher. And then, during his trial, he basically tried to plead that he was insane by, screaming out things and then dropping his pants and flashing everybody. I'm pretty sure that was a sight to see. Some, like, what was it, 50-something-year-old man's balls dangling to his knees. How old was he during the time of his trial? Yeah, he was 50-ish. He would have been 55. Yeah. I mean, growing up, like, what was it my mom used to tell my sisters if they didn't behave? She always say, like, the boogeyman would come and get them and devour them, and, she just terrorized them. But, they turned out to be decent people. Well, my one sister's a bitch, but my other one, she's just dumb. But I mean, they turned out to be decent people, and I know that there's other people in the world that have similar things, and they choose not to do these acts. And it seems like a lot of mutilation murders is there's always some sort of, like, sexual frustration. And that confuses me because even though I can become sexually frustrated, my first thing is not to, go out and, like, stab 10,000 people. Like, I don't know, maybe the brain's just wired weird. Like, does signals get confused? I'm sorry if I'm not, like, having coherent thoughts right now. Like, I'm having a real bad headache in the base of my skull. So it's really hard to focus right now. I've taken my pain medication for it. and I'm waiting for it to loosen up. I've tried popping my neck. Nothing's happening. It feels like my head is sitting on a pike. It's awful right now. But before we like swap subjects, of what? Um, I know who you're talking about, Ultra, and no, this is like someone completely different because the guy in Germany did this like recently. Actually, Barbie, there is only 3 pieces missing. I hid it from Cody, so he does not know where it's at. And I've had like the worst heartburn, can't speak. So I haven't like indulged myself. But yeah, there's like I said, there's only 3 missing. He really, really likes the hazelnut because we've never had these kind of chocolates before. So this is like new to us. But it was funny. My mom called and she was like, "Oh, I checked your mail. You had a package." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" It's like Cody's Christmas isn't supposed to be here till Tuesday, and I didn't expect your package to get here so fast. So I go over there and get it, and Code's looking at it, and as I like get the envelope open and pull it out, he grabs it, and I'm like, "Give it back." And he's running around the kitchen, around the island, and going, no, it's mine. It has my name on it too. What's it supposed to be?" And he opens it and he sees the chocolate and he's like, "I've got chocolate. It's my name's on it too. You can't have it." And he's running from me. And I'm just like, "What are you doing?" And then he goes, "Well, you can have the card." I was like, "No, you open the card." And he's like, "Why? Is there something wrong with it?" I was like, "No, you just open it." I think I said like, "Oh, so I could get like the chocolate out," because he's like, "Okay." So he like opens the card thinking like, "Oh, there's money or something." And he reads it and he goes, "So we're supposed to share chocolate with the dogs?" It's like, "No." It's like, why did I have to open the card?" And it's like, "Because I wasn't sure if Barbie was going to glitter bomb me." And he goes, "Oh, so you wanted me to get covered in glitter before work?" And I was like, "Yes, exactly. Because if you would have opened it and glitter fell out everywhere, then you would have to clean it up. That's the whole point." I'm telling you, I live with like a permanent 6-year-old. He gets so happy about shit that he runs around and acts like an idiot. Like, I love him to death, but geez. But yeah, I'm planning, hopefully, to get away after Christmas, like one day while he's at work, and get him, what is it, a red eye crocodile skink because of we lost our bearded dragon today. So he's a little down about that. I'm not sure if I want to do another lizard or take and clean out the terrarium and just get him a bunch of fish, because he'd like to have an aquarium, and he likes those glow fishies. So yeah, we kind of knew something was wrong a couple of weeks ago because she started like coughing. So I got her a dehumidifier because they said that she probably had a respiratory infection. So I was giving her antibiotics and everything, and I had just checked on her last night before I went to bed, and she was okay. But today, I went in there to check my modem because my internet was just being weird, and she had knocked over her water bowl, and she was laying in it like she normally does. Well, when I went to grab it, she didn't move. So I touched her with the bowl because she usually tries to bite me, so I don't put my hands down in there. And I touched her with the bowl, no budging. So I went and I woke Code up and I was like, there's something wrong. Your lizard's not moving. And he's like, what do you mean? So he went in there and grabbed her, because there has been times she will pretend that shit where she won't move, she won't budge until he goes in there and picks her up and holds her. But yeah, it wasn't good. So I gave him my van shoebox to put her in, and he's actually going to bury her in the morning. So I'm either thinking about, I either want to get him a red eye crocodile skink, or I want to get him, he wants a water dragon, but I don't have enough room for one of those right there right now. Or I just want to completely turn that terrarium, because it's large enough, and to convert it's just one of those really large fish tanks. It was wide enough for her because she wasn't really big. So I either want to convert that into something for a skink, or start him up some fish. Well, he wants what the fuck is it called? It's there's videos on YouTube, and this person has it, and they grow, like, when you get them, they're like really tiny, but they can grow up to the size of a small dog. What are they called? Hold on. Dog like, I think they're from Brazil. What kind of dog? What kind of lizard is this? Oh, it's a tegu. That's what he wants. A tegu lizard here. If you don't know what that is, I will link real quick, because I am the master of no, that's the wrong button, Lynn. Control A. Tegu. Really, really good image. Like, here. He wants one of these, but I don't know if they sell them around here. And if they do, I probably have to be really, really careful, because people try to like stifle you and make you pay like way, way more than what you should. So, but I asked him what I could do. Like, did he want another lizard? And he was like, no, I kind of don't want another pet right now, because he has the rock monster that we just acquired, Dodger. Yeah, we just acquired you, didn't we? As you sprawl out on my floor like you own the fucking place, you little shit. Uh, so, and then we have the 2 cats, and then we have Moxie, my dog. So right now we are down to 5 animals. Maybe I should just get him a Tamagotchi or a Furby or something. Dodger is a mean little shit, believe it or not. He's really came into his own. He's kind of food aggressive right now, and I'm trying to break him of that. So, you know what? I just thought of it. What if instead of getting Code a lizard, we've always talked about getting a ferret? Maybe I should, like, once my business launches, I put aside the money to buy him a ferret because I would like to have another ferret. That'd be so amazing. Get us a new, like, a little ferret. Well, it's either I get him. He doesn't like pigs. We went to a friend's house. Um, not last weekend, the weekend before, to help his friend build a fence, and he had a goat, and this goat was like in love with Cody. So he said he wanted a goat, and he was talking to one of his friends about it. But since we own a pit bull, the person won't sell us a goat because they don't like pit bulls. So it's like we're ugh. But I want to get him like a pygmy goat so it doesn't get no bigger than a certain size. Because my mom has a goat and I just really don't want to like build an enclosure right now. What about a chupacabra? Ultra, I live with a chupacabra. Code is probably the closest thing to a chupacabra. All right, everybody start pitching your money together so we can get Trina some adult diapers. She never has to leave her chair. Oh. Yeah. Reach, Len, reach. To get exotic pets like that, Blair, all you have to do, honestly, is get an exotic pet license. And you, around here, I know you can go to like a local zoo and take a class to do that. And like, if you want to specify in like one speciality of animals, such as sloths, if your local zoo has like a sloth exhibit, there should be some trainers there that can train you like how to handle them and to deal with them and so on and so forth. Because around here we have the big zoo, and then we have Pine Mountain, which does like a drive-through safari, and they have like a variety of animals. And some people have went through there to get their exotic pet license and training because like Auburn University has the eagle and the tiger. So their handlers have to be trained. And they're usually like, Albie the tiger is, I do believe he's privately owned. But I do know a guy who has a Siberian tiger in his pawn shop. But you have to like check with your state and what their regulations are and shit like that. Dodger, Dodger, what are you doing? Where's Moo Moo and them? But Trina wants. I don't like. Okay, there are certain animals that are cute and cuddly, and then like such as a koala, I wouldn't want because what is it? They carry chlamydia. Is it? It's one of the sexually transmitted diseases. They carry it on their fur, just like hedgehogs coat themselves their spines in venom. I had a hedgehog once. I gave it to my brother. Yeah, because like as a reptile owner, we were like always supposed to wash our hands because reptiles carry salmonella, blah 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 blah. Uh, I've never once had salmonella, so yeah, and I could see like having a koala and then Cody getting the clap and then telling me, "Oh no, I got it from the koala." No, bitch, you've been sticking your dick somewhere it doesn't belong again, haven't you? He's gonna get the chop. Um, y'all should hear how I talk to him. Like when he's here, I'm absolutely like just beat as shit to him, and it's so hilarious. Oh gosh, Trina has a freaking secret. Also, I have a question. I know I didn't comment on your picture, Trina, but is Barbie your daughter? Because you two look very similar. Like you could be Barbie's mom, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I have been with Code uh December 31st makes 4 years. I didn't mean it as like a bad thing, Trina. Jeez. It was just like the oh your eye shape and everything. It made me think of Barbie. And like I said, I don't mean that in a bad way. Hold on. I'm trying to think of like how old my mom is. Let me add. Yeah. Trina could actually be my mom. See, Trina, you wouldn't have to worry about me because I've always been the type where I just stay in my room and I don't socialize. I do as I'm told. And just like my dad used to wake me up on the weekends to help on the farm. And I knew if I dilly-dallied and didn't get it done, then he would just yell and yell at me. So I'd always get my work done and then go back to bed. So I don't think you'd have to be me because I was never a bad child. My mom would disagree, but oh gosh, I want it pop. Oh, the hell? Well, I could like probably make your son rage a lot, and then you really want to kill him. The Xbox, I don't even talk unless it's like to close friends, and I have like no friends on Xbox, so I cry. Wait, what? What? Hold on. Hi, Mike. Oh, Ultra, are you asking where I'm from? I'm actually from Alabama. Don't even go there, Blair. Like, ugh. I've had so many of my streamer friends try to get me on stream just to talk because apparently my voice makes people weird. So I try not to like talk that much or get on streams and shit because it's just weird. Okay, we have gotten completely off topic. We're supposed to be like talking about serial killers, and here we are talking about like Trina being our our mom, getting her diapers, all that cool shit that I do. Um, I forgot what exactly I was doing. I'm telling you, this fucking headache is fucking with me like so bad. Here's a little bit of interesting information. Um, One of my boyfriends used to play like WoW a lot, so I would get in like Skype calls with him. And when he wasn't paying me attention, I would do this anime-ish voice to get attention from him. Holy crap. I'm gonna set myself on fire again. Yeah, that always see, I wouldn't stick my mom in a nursing home. I'd stick her at a freaking insane asylum. Bitch is crazy. Tried playing WoW, and then I got bored within like the first 10 minutes, so I have like an attention span where if I don't enjoy what I'm doing, then I don't like to play it. It's like I played so many MMOs that by the time I got to WoW, I just got bored. So I haven't had the money to get PUBG. Plus, like, I'm pretty sure it would probably take me like 8,000 years to fucking download. Because you know how shit my net is. So I'm actually considering downloading Fortnite tonight when I go to bed. So because I think Fortnite's free, so I think I want to download that because it looks interesting. The fact that you can build shit to give you an advantage. So I think that may be something I may be into. Because Code's playing GTA 5 right now. See, that's where I excel at, Mike. I've played Minecraft for so fucking long that I could probably build anything in the world. Oh, my head is killing me. All right, let's try to get on track because I don't know how long I'm going to be able to sit here with this headache. I've already been streaming almost an hour. So, um, what did you guys think about the babysitter killer or the Oakland County child killer? You're welcome, Ultra. Eventually, I would like to have some other bitches on here with me that could banter with me so I don't sound like an idiot up here spazzing out every 5 seconds. Oh dear Lord, what am I looking at? Yep, I deserve payment in chocolate. Okay, the babysitter killer is one of the most semi-notorious serial killers in the U.S. that was never caught. Uh, the Oakland County child killer is an unidentified serial killer responsible for the murders of 4 more children, 2 girls and 2 boys, in Oakland County, Michigan, in 1976 and 1977. Several theories and suspects have been named in the case, but despite these theories, the case remains unsolved and the killers have never been identified. Anyway, to sum up the case, is the children would go missing and basically they would tell the parents that they were all just runaway. No, that's a completely different case. Sorry. They caught that guy. Never mind. But these children would come up missing, and when they were found, they were always redressed and placed in a very like peaceful manner. Like there was one child, it was one of the boys. Hold on, let me see if I can't find him. Uh, American Legion, slur, rope, backpack. Oh, it was Timothy King, 11. His family pleaded on not. I think it was the local TV station to please give back their son so that he could come home and have his favorite meal of KFC. Was found. They discovered his last meal was KFC. So I I feel like that was like a jab at the parents because it was like you're not getting your child. So we will respect your last wishes and feed him his favorite meal before, we end it. But I do believe that was the last action. No, there was another one, but it's suspected. But she, whoever was doing this would hold the child, I think it was up to 9 to 12 days. Hold on, let me skim real quick. Okay, so he would hold the children for a pretty long time. Like, Christine was found 19 days later. Um, one child he was last seen on February 15th, and his body was found on the 19th, laid out in a snowbank in a parking lot of an office building at 10 Mile Road in Greenfield in Southfield. He had been strangled and sexually assaulted with an object and had suffered 2 lacerations to the left rear of his head. Rope marks were evident upon his wrists and ankles, indicating that he had been bound throughout his period of captivity. He was fully clothed in an outfit he was wearing when he was last seen. The next body, it's a little bit out of the MO for it, but then again, most oh god, like this headache, I swear. Spree killings, they don't really have an MO. Jill Robinson, 12, she was found with lying supine in a very position, which she was basically shot in the face with a 12 gauge shotgun. And then Christine, days later, suffocation. And then Timothy King, he was also suffocated. So it seems like they were figuring out their way of doing things, and it seems like suffocation was their method. So this person was never caught. There had been no leads to it. I tried to find like a documentary on it, but there's not that much besides like police reports and the police reliving the case, but there wasn't like much information because I scoured as best as I could to find something like full and complete about it, but I wasn't that lucky. Oh crap, sorry. And then Our next subject was Robert Pigton. Robert is best known as the Pig Farm Killer, and he is from Canada. What part? British Columbia. His life imprisonment span of killings was from 1983 to 2002. I was trying to find some people that were most recent. There was one that I couldn't really get much information on, but I will keep digging. And there's another one in Alaska, but I got really busy during the middle of the week. But Robert Pigton is a Canadian serial killer convicted in 2007 of the second-degree murders of 6 women. He was also charged with the death of an additional 20 women, many of them from Vancouver's downtown east side. However, these charges stayed by the Crown in 2010. In December 2007, he was sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole for 25 years, the longest sentence then available for murder under Canadian law. During the trial's first day of jury evidence, January 22nd, 2007, the Crown stated that he confessed to 49 murders to an undercover agent from the Office of Inspector General. Posing as a cellmate, the Crown reported that Pigton told the officer that he wanted to kill another woman to make it an even 50, and that he was caught because he was sloppy. So, if I recall this case right, he basically would pick up hookers, and then he would take them back to his farm, have his way with them, and murder them. Um, I'm trying to remember if he actually like fed the bodies to the pigs. I do believe that it was discussed doing it. Um, I do remember in one documentary that I watched of this case that he, the Canadian FDA or whatever it is, put out that some pork from X processing plant could contain human remains, but nothing was ever sent back containing so um and actually what made me look up this case was there was an episode of Criminal Minds that I had watched where it was a pig farm and they were finding shoes, so it made me look up the real inspiration to the case, and I found this guy. um I know he's trying, like last I heard he was trying to appeal it or some things, and I don't know. It's like the Wikipedia doesn't really give that much information on it. But I mean, I've even heard like as a child, like if you want to get rid of a body, there's 2 ways: throw it through a wood chipper or feed it to pigs. Because pigs will eat anything. I'm sorry, like it's getting really hard to focus. And since you're here, Trina, there was actually one that I meant to send to you and tag you in. It happened in London, and they were calling him Jack the Stripper because he targeted prostitutes just like Jack the Ripper, except he always stripped them down and left their bodies naked. And it made me think of you because you're always calling people whores. So I was like, maybe Trina's Jack the Stripper. But they never caught him either, so uh, and of course I sent you Mary Hatchet, the most notorious like southern prostitute. So who was like murdering all her clients. But then the last one that I'm gonna touch on before I actually call it a night. I'm really sorry. Like I am having the hardest time focusing with this headache in the back of my skull. Uh, is Mary Bell. If you've never heard of her, she's actually not a serial killer. She's actually a child murderer. Um, at age 10 to 11, she strangled to death two young boys in Scotswood's inner city of Newcastle. She was convicted in December 1968 of manslaughter of Martin Brown, age 4, and Brian Howe, age 3. What she did was she lured Martin into an abandoned house and basically had him lay down on the floor, and she would put her hands around his throat and squeeze ever so lightly, and she killed him that way. The mother said that after the funeral and everything, that came to her house and was like, well, can we see Martin? And she was like, no, sweetie, he passed away. And Mary's like, oh, I know, but we want to see him in his coffin. And the mother was like, whoa, that's a little creepy, because they didn't know what had happened to the child, because there was no identifying marks around the child's throat that he had been strangled. And they never thought that, oh, hey, it could have been a child. They thought that maybe he went into anaphylactic shock or something. And then her second victim, Brian Howe, if I'm not mistaken, she had a friend with her. Uh, Let me double check it. Yeah, she strangled a 3-year-old in the wasteland area with her, even though the Wikipedia does not say. Oh yeah, it does have it listed here. Uh, um, I mean, she was like, sorry, like I said, focusing is really, really hard right now. But Mary Bell would also leave like notes around that she actually killed Martin. Apparently, no one took it serious. So when she killed the second little boy, who was 3, she did the same method, but she also carved an M into the boy's stomach and also used a pair of scissors to cut some of Hal's hair, scratch his legs, and then proceeded to mutilate his genitalia. So, and it's a little weird that you have a child that's 10, 11, 12 years old that's capable of remorse and injuring and killing a child, first just by strangling a child, and then when she kills again, she mutilates this child. And it kind of makes me wonder, like, why. I mean, there's reports that her mother was a prostitute, that men were in and out always hurting her mother, and that's probably where her anger came from. This is the scary thing, is she's actually been released. um I'm trying to read right here. 20 in 1980, Bell, age 23, was released after serving 12 years and was granted anonymity, including a new name, anonymity, whatever, allowing to start her new life. 4 years later, she had a daughter born on the 25th of May, 1984. Bell's daughter did not know of her mother's past until Bell's location was discovered by reporters in 1998, and she and her mother had to leave their house with bed sheets. Bell's daughter's anonymity was originally protected until she reached the age of 18. However, on May 21st, 2003, Bell won a high court battle to have her own anonymity and that of her daughter extended for life. Any court order permanently protecting the identity of the convict in Britain is consecutively sometimes known as a Mary Bell order. In 2009, it was reported that Bell had become a grandmother. So it's kind of like, yeah, she served 12 years. She was released at the age of 23. Um, Apparently, she has her own daughter. Um, and apparently, her daughter has a daughter. And it's just kind of weird. Like, maybe she got rehabilitated, but like, why? Why would you even? I mean, I can understand that if you're at a young age as that it is quite easier to rehabilitate because at that age they're still learning and you can remold the brain. I don't know. I should have code here for when I do this stuff because he'd banter off with me. I just feel like an idiot up here by myself. Welcome back, Trina. But yeah, they released her and she has like a kid of her own and all that fun stuff. Like they was saying, like maybe it's possible that they like rehabilitated her because she was so young when all this happened. That maybe they got her back on track. There's actually like quite a few records of child killers. I'm trying to remember a few. Like um, the case of the two children that abducted the little boy. I think it was in England. It may have been in the U.S. I'm pretty sure it was in England, where they abducted the little boy and then took him to the train tracks and killed him, and then left him there. And then here recently, a couple of years ago, the girls that took their friend out in the woods and stabbed her over, I think it was like 13 or 60. It was some amount of numbers, actually it's a quite large number that they stabbed her to sacrifice her to Slender Man. Yeah, there was a case of a uh, where two, like, from what I can remember, like off the top of my head with the little boy, was the little boy was with his mom at the mall, and then she like turned away for a little bit, and then when she turned back, her son was gone. And then on footage, they have these two other children. I think they were in between the ages of 14 and 10, walking out with the child. And then they found the body near the train tracks where they had like, I think they may have sodomized him. I can't remember absolute details, but yeah, there are cases of child killers. I'm trying to remember a few of them, but the most recent one would be the Slenderman case. There's also the teenage case where they stabbed the friend. Can't remember. It was like, I don't either. Me and Blair had somewhat of a discussion in my last hangout about how like what makes people do things. It's kind of like oh shit, let me see if I can search my head to get a single thought. But there's a lot of people out there that share similar stories, but a lot of people don't go on the deeper end of it and decide to, mutilate and kill. They still become a normal functioning human being. It's okay, Dark. I'm actually gonna probably end this soon because I have like a real bad headache in the back of my head where my neck connects into my head, and it's just like killing me. Oh, geez, Trina, that's like, ugh. People do really, really fucked up things. Yeah, I took acetaminophen for it because that's all I have right now. I don't have my tramadol. I have to go get that refilled. But it's like in the base of my skull, and it's making it like hard to think. And like moving my head is just like a nightmare right now. Jeez. There was a case here recently in Mobile, Alabama, where the guy was trying to become the next John Wayne Gacy. He was storing bodies under his house. And then, like, what was it after the Hurricane Harvey that hit Houston? I can't remember. We've had so many hurricanes this year. That a guy in Texas was he was a mortician, but was he a mortician or did he work at the morgue? One of the two, but he was like collecting penises. Like what? Like, did you imagine like walking into that house and they're like, "Oh, look at the pickles. Those ain't pickles. Those are penises." Okay. I'm on the internet enough and I see enough dicks on the internet that I wouldn't want, like, why? Yeah, there was this guy. I don't know how they discovered it. Yeah, it was hold on. Let me see if I can find the article. It was like weird as fuck. Texas guy collects penises? Peni? I've got two articles pulled up right now. Texas morgue employees home being raped over 3,000 penises is fake news. There is not truth that the FBI raid led to the seizures, blah, blah, blah. For a fake news article reporting that the FBI had raided during a war. You can see if it here's that. However, there's no truth to the story according to Snopes. Oh man, are you telling me it was fake? Because wow. I just remember reading it and I was like, well, that's quite interesting. Yeah, because it was like that was fucking odd. Cause I remember seeing it like all over Twitter, like 3,000 penises. What honestly, what would you do with 3,000 penises in formaldehyde after you cut any sort of, we're just going to call the penis a ligament from the body? It no longer has, like, think of it. It's kind of like an umbilical cord. It would just like shrivel up and jerk it. It doesn't matter the size, it would still look horrible. I don't know, for some reason, like when I think of like the 3,000 penises, I think of that one Austin Powers movie where the guy was collecting like his dead skin. I guess you just got to be weird because apparently the only thing I collect is animals. Exactly, Mike. Did he have it arranged by size? It's like, okay, this is fucked up. And this is actually a true thing. But, you know, during the Holocaust, there was one demented doctor who performed like a bunch of tests on twins and etc. And it was one of the general's wives who requested a skin lamp, you know, made out of the skin of, yeah, it makes me think of that, like, you know, a twist between that and like Ed Gein. What was he trying to do? Build a Dickenstein? Like, if it was real, would that be his goal? To collect all the dicks to build a Dickenstein? It doesn't like really bother me thinking people using human flesh as a catalyst for something like uh leather. You know, it doesn't really bother me to think about that because there are uh cannibalistic tribes that do that still. Like what is it, the one tribe in is it South America? Is I want to say it's South America, it may be somewhere else where I think it's in India, actually, somewhere around India, where they dig up their dead and feast on them. And then I know that there's some cannibalistic tribes that actually use the skin of their enemies to make leathers and stuff. But I mean, it doesn't really bother me that much because it's kind of like, you know, repurposing an animal, except, you know, like, you know, you're a human. because I think it was on like Lori's Hangout. Everybody was talking about like being cremated and shit. You know, if I had one way to go out, I've always said like if I had to choose when I would die, that I would want to run through a maze of chainsaws. Because one, that would be fucking amazing, and two, like it's like a a horror dream come true for me. But like then take my pieces and then like cook it and then like make a chili, make a fucking dank ass chili, and then feed me to my enemies. That would just feed the hungry. There you go. Just feed the hungry. I don't know. That's just hi chispa. That's just something I've always said. Like, because there's conversations, my friends are always like, well, if I had to kill myself, I'd jump off the Empire State Building or jump in front of a truck. And I'm like, I'd run through a freaking maze of chainsaws. Well, let's make it interesting here. That would be my ideal way. Is just run through a maze of chainsaws. I don't know. I guess I have like a really fucked up, you know, morbidness. Because I also wonder like what would happen if you inject yourself with liquid nitrogen, like into your veins. It's okay, Chispa. I have sucked tonight, like horribly. I've had like the worst headache in the world, so focusing for me is not working very well. So it's been like, oh, we'll talk about the subject, and then I kind of like forget, and then I ramble, and yeah. Don't make me a talk show host. It would not do very well. Plus, it would actually be like, if you find out, let me know, but no video. Yeah, I really want to know what it's like to inject yourself with like liquid nitrogen, because would it be like, what is that fucking movie where the guy like, is it that like spoof with Charlie Sheen where the guy like falls into liquid nitrogen and he breaks into 1,000 pieces? Would it work like that? I just wonder. I know, like sometimes I think like, well, what if you inject somebody with liquid hot magma? But then again, liquid hot magma doesn't. You can't really carry it. No, no, Mike. There's a Charlie Sheen movie. It's a spoof, and I can never remember the freaking name of it. It's not a scary movie. This a long time ago. It's like shit. Shit. Like, hold on. Let me remember the name, because Charlie Sheen spoof movies. It's not Hot Shots. Is it? It is Hot Shots. Hot Shots Part do, do, Deuce. Yeah, Deuce. Yeah. That's that one that I was thinking of. But no, like, it would help a lot better if people would actually get up here and talk with me, because then I'd have someone to talk to and bounce ideas off of, rather than rambling like an idiot. I could try to interview my dogs, but they won't say much unless like I make Rocky mad. But I'm pretty sure you guys wouldn't want to hear me get mauled to death. Speaking of my Rocco, Wake your ass up, bitch. You've been asleep all goddamn day. Ugh. Hey, hey. Oh, Chispa, you're the one that I wanted to tell that Sims 4 is an awful game. You should not play it at all. Sims 3 is better. Well, mainly because of the fact that let's see, why does Sims 4 sucks? Their packs suck. They removed a lot of like base content that you would get with like the Sims 2 and 3, which personally I think 3 is the best. The fact that they got rid of fucking neighborhoods, like why? That is true. With the Sims 3, it does lag a lot. But I have like mods to help with that, and I have enough RAM to overcompensate for it. So I'm actually debating like one night when I'm actually bored and just want to ramble on, streaming me playing like Stardew Valley. Try to like impregnate everybody, but I know I can't. Because that game is like PG-13. No, it's not even PG. It's like rated like A for absolutely you can't do nothing vile. Why do I have Diablo on my computer? One night I'm gonna have to get like code with me so we can talk about weird shit. Cause he's like weird. I have not seen the new Star Wars. We will not be seeing any new Star Wars because I took code to see Rogue, whatever the fuck it was, the last one that came out. And when they, killed Han Solo, he was like, "Yeah, I'm done." So there will be no new Star Wars for us. They kind of like that's fine, Chispa. I've been sick the past couple of days. Like I was having problems holding down food, and I feel better today, but this headache is just really kicking my ass. I don't think I have like migraines. I think I may have cluster headaches. Because I'll get headaches in the back of my skull, and then I'll get them in my temples, and it just drains me of like all energy. And then on top of that, like, I thought it was my gallbladder causing the pain, but since I swallow air when I breathe and I talk, eat, basically any humanly function. I swallow air, and it causes me to have like severe pain. But I just haven't been like feeling very well the past couple of days and just trying to get better. And I've slacked on my household chores. Like, I've got a load of laundry I've got to finish because my washer doesn't rinse, so I have to run it twice, and it's already done with the first cycle. Plus, I'm not looking forward to next weekend because isn't next weekend Christmas? Like, oh, it is. Someone shoot me. I don't. Because they're gonna make me get up at like 6 in the morning to do Christmas Eve breakfast. I don't even eat when I get up. And then I have a Christmas Eve party I have to go to over at my sister's, where my family, after 5 years, have decided that they like the game Cards Against Humanity that I bought my dad 5 fucking years ago. Um, I oh shit. Well, I don't know if you've looked at Amazon, but all their tablets and shit are on sale, and I just bought Code One, like the Amazon Fire, whatever it is. I think I bought him a 7-inch one, and it was the regular price was like, and I think I got it for, it's like either 40 or 50, and I think I got it for like 30. So that's like the only thing I know, because I'm making all my sister's crap, but I have to like wait until I can get my money for my business. So, oh, that's gonna be fun. Hopefully, by the first of the year, I'll feel better and can get my business started. Yay! But yeah, I'm probably gonna end this right now because I feel like crap. And yeah, I think I'm probably just gonna like go get on the couch, cuddle with my dogs, and try to max out all my stats on GTA 5. Ha ha. And then pass out after I get laundry done. But thank you all for coming. I will leave this one up. Um, and like I said, I will not be doing any more hangouts until the first of the year because, you know, the holidays and all that crap. I got to get through those weekends. So I will let you guys know when I'm going to do another one. And you guys have fun. And don't kill each other. Bye.